Coming up next on orlando.ourcityradio.com, the Urban Station, an exclusive interview with radio personality Angel Rivera.
There's no coming back, back, oh. 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 My love, my trust, I gave you everything. My heart, my soul, and every part of me. But still, you left and chose to be with him. Now you wanna come back in my life. Tell me why you left. Believe a word you say. All the tears you cry. I'm falling much too late. I'd go through that again. So girl, turn around, 'cause there's no coming back, back. There's no coming back, no, no. There's no coming back, back. There's no coming back, no. There's no coming back, back. There's no coming back, back. You're no longer mine. There's no coming back this time. There's no coming back this time. My dreams, my fears, my insanity, my pride, my tears, you took it all from me. Girl, you can save all your apologies, 'cause you're not coming back this time. Believe a word you say. I'm falling much too late. I'd go through that again. So girl, turn around, there's no coming back, back. There's no coming back, no, no. There's no coming back, back. There's no coming back, no. There's no coming back, back. There's no coming back, back. You're no longer mine. There's no coming back this time. Thought the grass would be greener than what you left behind, baby. Now you think that you can just come back. Girl, you must be thinking I'm crazy. Tell your friends that they can stop calling, 'cause I've had enough of it, baby. If you think that you can just come back, girl, you must be thinking I'm crazy. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. You're no longer mine. There's no coming back this time. No, 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 no. There's no coming back this time.
The Primetime Show with Ray Mel is sponsored by Legal Shield. Legal Shield offers 2 high-quality identity thefts, Legal Shield Identity Theft Plan and the Identity Theft Premium Plan. Go to sites.legalshield.com. You're listening to orlando.ourcityradio.com, the Urban Station.
I'm striving further than these earthly ways. And when
What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to orlandoourcityradio.com, the urban station. And right now, it gives me the utmost pleasure and honor to do an exclusive interview with the gentleman that I have the utmost respect for. And I believe if it wasn't for him and the show that he is still part of, if it wasn't for him, I would have not gotten the local notoriety that I have now, because him, Soul Brother Kevin, and Cabin Boy provided myself and my old band, The Duo, with the opportunity to be on the radio, and the rest is history. So, and this man is an on-air radio personality for Clear Channel Communications. Usually he subs for some of the, for example, the Monsters in the Morning, the Phillips File on Real Radio 104.1, and he is also a radio host and producer at Roomba. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you to my boy, Mr. Angel Rivera. What's going on, Angel?
What's going on, dude? Man, with that intro, I don't know if I can live up to all that.
Are you speechless? Are you speechless?
I would have caught off guard with all that, though. I appreciate it, man.
Oh no! Hey, I mean, it's a fact check. I mean, it's true. I mean, and we're gonna get to that in later on in our interview. But what's going on with you, man? How's everything with you? It's been almost a year since we haven't spoken to each other.
Yeah, it's been about that long. Just still grinding it out, building SBK Live podcast, SBKLiveRadio.com, really building on that and continuing to develop that brand and push that forward. And then, doing what I do at the Clear Channel compound there in Maitland.
Excellent. And did you guys record an episode tonight? And is it available?
We usually do that on Thursdays. It's up now. The most recent episode is up now. You can get it through all kinds of platforms. You can do iTunes. You can do it through our website at SBKLiveRadio.com. You can get it through the Xbox store. You can do all those any tune in, all that kind of stuff. SBK Live Radio is there for you.
Excellent. And I always tune in regardless. I always tune into the podcast show every week, and I have all the episodes downloaded on my computer, and I get a kick out of listening to you guys, the three of you, just telling it like it is, and it's so great to see you guys back with what you're doing, and it's amazing. But my first question is this, and first of all, I think you do a marvelous job subbing for some of the radio personalities, especially on Real Radio 104.1. I know that you did a phenomenal job a few weeks ago filling in for the Phillips File and Dirty Jim and the Monsters in the Morning, and you always do a phenomenal job. And in the years that I've listened to you, you've made many times you've made references of your early childhood being raised in the military. So tell us about that. What was life like as a kid being raised with a family that was military?
It was probably one of the cooler experiences in the sense of giving you a pretty good idea of how big the United States was and how big the world was.
Mm-hmm.
So that my perspective on just, I guess, my position or how I felt, within the world was definitely, like, I got a healthy perception of that in the very beginning. 7, 8 different bases here in the States, 2 bases overseas. So, and then the saying goes, like, if your parents or if your dad, if he does 20 years in the military, well, basically the whole family does 20 years in the military, So, it's definitely a different type of experience, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Just because getting to see different cultures and just different experiences and, you know, different schools. So the one thing that is odd or is really different is that, for example, I got friends of mine who, in particular here in Orlando, who they've been born and raised in Orlando, and so they know they still friends with guys they went to, like, let's say, middle school with. You know, they went to elementary school with. So they went to elementary school, middle school, and high school with this same group of friends. I don't necessarily have that. So that's probably the only difference.
And you said it was a cool experience. I can imagine, you know, going from one place to the other. Was it a little bit difficult, or did you manage to overcome the fact that, I'm moving from one place to the other? How did you cope with change? Because I can imagine, like, for some kids nowadays, going from one location to the other, moving from one place to the other would be a difficult thing for them to experience. How did you overcome that?
I would say this, the differences are, okay, so for example, you know, for the most part, you move from base to base to base. Well, you're with other military kids, so you're kind of all in the same boat, you know. It's like, hey, you know, we're all from different bases and all that kind of thing. Where it really became different was, I want to say, I think we were living in Anchorage, Alaska, and it was probably the first time that I was going to school off the base. I remember that, I think that was junior high, and so that's the first time where I can recall offhand being mixed in with, like, just like the regular kids from the city, and so there was that, you know, oh, those are the air base kids, and we're from Anchorage and all that kind of thing. But I mean, I don't know. You figure it out. I think for me, was able to at some point finally become good at something, which is basketball. So that kind of helped transcend. You know, I mean, there's still, you know, you're always going to have those awkward periods and those meeting periods and all that kind of thing. But I think for me, the sports kind of helped that out.
And tell us about your basketball career. That's another important item that you reference from time to time, and that was something that you did before you got into radio. Tell us about that, and what was that experience?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was cool in the sense of you know, it helped pay for my college. Again, it gave me a ability to develop friendships and stuff outside of outside of the regular school thing. So you're playing, you know, summer ball and everything. It got me to Puerto Rico. I played in the BSN league down there for a few years. You know, and it was a good vehicle. Again, you learn interpersonal communications with people. You're meeting all kinds of different people. That's probably the first time where I was really interested in quote-unquote DJing. I know I started it in high school goofing off, but I got a little bit more serious with it in college because it was on top of playing basketball. You know, to the DJ at the party was a pretty easy way to meet girls.
And I know that you DJ locally in Orlando, and what I loved when I would be in the recording when I would be in the radio station is the fact that the songs that you would play to bring back the show, it was phenomenal because it was a combination of different styles of music, everything from jazz to underground hip hop, and it made me respect you because for me, you sound like somebody that's very eclectic when it comes to music. Tell us about that.
I think what has happened to radio over time is that with the development of like playlists, with the development of like how they pre-program radio stations and everything, you know, the scope or the the availability. For example, there was a time where the radio DJ, the disc jockey, he was the tastemaker. He's the one that was breaking music for you. He was the guy that was like, hey, you need to check this out. And there was a time in radio where it wasn't like just a rock station. You were listening because of the DJ, and you were listening to the DJ because he played all kinds of stuff. You know, you would hear a Stevie Wonder record with a, Led Zeppelin record. You would hear these, crazy lead-ins and combinations of music, and it was because the DJ, the radio personality behind the microphone, he was the guy that was like, setting the trend, setting the taste, like, hey, you need to check this out. And there was a more of a, like openness about all of that. As time has gone by, I forget the gentleman, there was a guy that actually devised this way of how to calculate, how to, program music and everything. It was an article they did on him in Rolling Stone. His name escapes me right now. But as the development of that came away, then that's when you started coming with, like, these radio stations, that all they did is play rock, or all they play is R&B, and all they play is whatever genre. And I think for the most part, if you're a fan of music, it's kind of a disservice, because then you've limited, you're painting a painting with just one brush. There's all kinds of music, there's all kinds of taste, there's all kinds of flavors out there. And I've always, and like with Kevin and with Calvin, we're three way different guys. We're coming from three, one of the few shows in the history of real radio where it's, a black guy, Puerto Rican guy, a white guy. The only show in the history of real radio that did that. And so I wanted the rejoins and all of that. We all took active parts of trying to contribute music to that, and we all tried to, it's kind of the statement of what we did, it's like we all come from three different kind of taste, and I think it's representative. If there was one thing we could represent it well, it would have been with the rejoins and everything.
And let's get back to the music here on orlando.ourcityradio.com, the urban station.
Hello, and welcome. It's DJ J-Mob. I'm one of the official DJs for Conscious Mind Records. By the way, people always tell me that they need a DJ or a producer for mixtape hosting, beats, remixes, or even weddings. Well, guess what? Your search is over. You don't have to look any further. To get a quote, please send me an email to rgn321@yahoo.com. Again, that's rgn321@yahoo.com. And again, the name is DJ J-Mob.
You're listening to orlandoourcityradio.com.
Give it to ya. I did think that you'll always remember. Skip flying
it to yourself so we can work this out.
Come a little closer, let me know what's happening. I just wanna get to know you. Let me know what's happening. I just wanna get to know you. Stop. Ooh, I saw you looking at me. And I know you wanna grab me. Tell me all of the things that you wanna do. Of your life. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come a little closer. Let me know what's happening. I just wanna get to know you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come a little closer. Let me know what's happening. I just wanna get to know you.
You're tuning in to orlando.ourcityradio.com, the urban station. We're talking to radio personality Angel Rivera. Now, how did radio come to your life? What was your first experience being in the radio?
First experience, I knew that I didn't know why, but I knew I wanted to be in radio, and it's something I think I got from my dad. Him and his buddies were into doing the radio shows when he was stationed in Spain. They were doing, like they're the only Puerto Rican guys on the base, and so they're doing like salsa merengue kind of show, Puerto Rican salsa, that kind of stuff. And
right.
That's where he got the bug for it. And I think my appreciation for music and radio and all that comes from that. And so my first experience, in radio per se, I think I was 13, and I won tickets to, there's a guy that I used to listen to, and I won tickets to a Cool and the Gang concert. And at that point, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. It was like, I could listen to radio and win prizes? Hell yeah.
That's amazing. That really is.
So, but from that, over time, I wanted to, like, if there was a time where I wanted to be a disc jockey, like break records, do all that kind of thing. Talk radio wasn't something I got into until much later, and it was because of other friends of mine who thought that it would be something that I would be good at.
Excellent. And so I'm reading about you. So you interned at Real Radio, and you entered for Jim Phillips and the Phillips File. Tell me about that experience.
That was I was going to a radio school out in Daytona. That school got shut down, and so then I was kind of scrambling. And then I got a lucky break. Me and Banana got to intern. Like we actually were the last two interns for Jim Phillips. It was one of the few times where he had 2 interns, and I interned for like 18 months, I think it was. And it's awesome. I learned a ton from Jim. I think he was a great, great teacher. And just not just radio stuff, but just like, some things on how the concept of how to work within a big business, a big company. Keeping your head down, punching along, those kind of elements. And then just watching, one of the coolest things is when we're doing show prep and you're sitting there and you kind of see the wheels turning and kind of, seeing what something's going to be seen. And he's telling you, okay, let's just hold it. Let's not, we're not going to talk about this again until we get on the air kind of thing. So I've always respected him, thought he was again, a great person to kind of get influence and inspiration from.
That's phenomenal. And again, I first started listening to you when SBK Live was a weekend show.
Saturday nights.
Yeah, Saturday nights. Yeah, and it was you. It was you, Soul Brother Kevin, Drunky the Bear, and Whopper Jr. And one of
Burger
the
was there, yeah.
Oh, Burger. Was it Burger?
Yeah, it was Burger. Tudge was there. In the very beginning, dude, it was crazy. We had Gomer. There was something like 7 guys in there.
And and this is way before you guys got on the rotation of doing a show on weekdays. But one of my all-time favorite episodes from that incarnation of SBK Live was the episode where the fellas were trying to convince you to stay in Florida because you're in a long-distance relationship or something like that. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. That's as Kevin likes to refer it, I want to go live a reality show. Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was just amazing. And of course, I was listening to that episode. I'm like, yeah, Angel, please stay. You know, just yelling from the radio and everything. So, but what was so? I presume this was the first time that you met Kevin, right?
No, I mean, we had, like, he had come on, I was still finishing up my internship, and he had come on, he had come to Real Radio, and then we were doing the Saturday thing. The thing was that there were so many of us doing the show at the time that it was kind of hard to see, like, it was kind of, when you're in that close, it's kind of difficult to see if you're gaining any kind of traction.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was that part of it, and then it was like, you know, I was in love at the time, and so you know, you go to follow the chick and everything, and then and I also was naive enough to think that you know, I'm just going to go to Long Island and get in, you know, jump on radio there, you know, that's how easy it's going to be, and it wasn't necessarily like that.
That's amazing. And so, well, you know, there's no secret as to how SBK Live got on the weeknights, and I don't want to go into that details because I know it's you know, interesting and whatnot. But so did SBK Live, when they decided to give him a show, did he automatically contact you and say, hey, I want you to be on the show, or did you have to audition for him, or you knew for a fact that you got the job?
Actually, so when we went down to, so when it became official that we were doing nights, there was a lot of drama behind all of that. Some of it, you know, affected me. Some of it directly is, you know, with SBK. But, you know, Shannonberg does what he does, gets himself into trouble, and as a result of that, kind of puts the whole station in a tailspin, you know?
Right.
There's guys that were, you know, there's jobs and careers that were at their jeopardy, and then guys that are trying to get on, and, you know, there's a ton of stuff going on at the time. And so, you know, I don't necessarily believe that we were the first option for them, as an option for them to do a nighttime show, you know. Actually, I'm trying to think of it as it goes down. I mean, there was another show that was brought in for nights. So, I mean, there was a bunch of stuff that happened for us to be able to get the opportunity. Once we got the opportunity, I think it was just because of a default. I don't think the powers that be, management, you know, there's a lot of people in that building, and there's a lot of people in radio, higher executives, who, you know, don't think that brown or black people listen to talk radio. And so why much, how are you going to put these guys as host, much less, on this particular radio station? So, there was definitely some I guess, coming from that end. And everything that we accomplished was, it was a fight. It was, we fought for everything that we got. There's no one else in that building that can take credit for any of the success that we had except us three,
Right.
And that's the long and the short of it. So
Right. And
so when it all went down, I knew I was in, but it wasn't like we were groomed for that. We groomed ourselves for it,
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, for me, in my opinion, your show was very groundbreaking, and it kind of broke the mold of real radio, because real radio back then used to be like all about rock, but when you guys came in, you just blew everything out in the open and just introduced, I believe, an urban audience to listen to your program, in my opinion. And you guys were there for 5 years, and and for those of you that are listening, I was a member of a band that we're now disbanded. It's called The Duo, and SBK Live had an audition for a musical segment called Sing Bitch.
Sing Bitch.
And we came in, and this was the first time that a duo ever auditioned for the music segment, and within 3 weeks, we found out that we got the job. And every Wednesday, we played this music segment for the fellas, and just like SBK Live, the duo was very eclectic, Lizette and myself. So we were very eclectic with playing different styles of music instead of just sticking to one genre. And
no, absolutely. That was key to the success of the game, I think, in the sense that, you guys did more current kind of tunes and stuff,
And let's get back to the music here on orlando.ourcityradio.com, the urban station. The Primetime Show with Ray Mel is sponsored by Legal Shield. Legal Shield offers 2 high-quality identity thefts, Legal Shield Identity Theft Plan and the Identity Theft Premium Plan. Go to sites.legalshield.com. You're listening to orlando.ourcityradio.com, the urban station.
You're listening to orlando.ourcityradio.com.
Day without you, and now my worst fear has come true. It wasn't in my plans. We were supposed to be forever, me that you're gone. How will I live without your love? And how will I live without your touch? How will I make it? No need to fake it. I'm really missing you, boy. Why did you leave? I don't know what to do. Baby, I'm missing you. Tell me, what did I do? Where did we go wrong? There's no forgetting you. There's no replacing you, baby. Tell me, what do I do now? You're gone, you're gone. Baby, you're gone. Come back to me. Ooh, baby, you're gone. Come back to me. Hey, tell me, what do I do now that you're gone? I never thought I'd see a day without you, and now my worst fear has come true.
And we're back. You're listening to orlando.ourcityradio.com, the urban station. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and we're having an exclusive interview with radio personality and local DJ, Mr. Angel Rivera. Now, we got to spill the dirt because I haven't said my piece yet about the cancellation of SBK Live just yet, and I hope I get the opportunity to share my side of the story and how the show's cancellation affected me with you three in the future. But I wanted to ask you a question. How did the cancellation of SBK Live affected you? Was it a surprise, or did it just throw you off guard, like, what the hell?
Wow. Good question. I guess it's a couple layers there in the sense of, the whole time that we were doing the show, it's not like we were getting, we were exceeding expectations, and I think that's what made it difficult on a corporate level to handle us prior to this. I don't think that my impression is that I don't think the show was ever seriously considered for anything else other than the night slot. And when you're at nights, unfortunately, you're expendable. Whatever the decisions are on a corporate level, they're not taking the successes that you have on a local level into account for that. So with that said, surprised, probably, to be honest, probably not. Disappointed 100%. And it just was, and it's even more so now, and doing the things that I'm doing, filling in and doing other things on other shows, is that I'm realizing how much people that you thought were listening, executives and sales and all these kind of things, that weren't listening. With the success that we were having and with the ratings that we were pulling and the things that we were able to accomplish, none of those people there in any capacity can really vouch for that because they weren't checking it out, They hear me now with Kevin, and they're like, we're in a, when I sit in on it, that's a bigger day part, and these people are getting to hear it, and they're listening. They're like, oh, you guys sound so good together. And I was like, well, that's what we've been doing, or that's what we do,
So basically, the last 5 years that you guys were on Real Radio was like a blank to them, like, oh, and then now they're realizing, wow, you guys sound great.
I think from my perspective, from where I sit, I think that's a pretty fair statement. I can't speak for, I'm not going to speak for Kevin and how the experience was for him or Cabin.
Right.
But from where I sit, that's kind of a fair statement. That is a fair statement. From where I sit, just the experiences or the comments that I get from people that, said they used to listen to the show, it was like, it's kind of bizarre now,
Yeah, and on a personal note, I'll just say this much. I think with us as the duo, I think when we heard about the cancellation of the show, I don't think we were ready to react the way that we did, and it hit me. I realized that this actually did happen, and I had to accept it and realize that it happened that morning when I listened to Soul Brother Kevin on The Monsters. I realized we don't have these guys are not going to do this thing anymore. But on the good note, do you think that the cancellation of SBK Live was sort of like a blessing for you guys? Because when I listen to you guys on the podcast show, you sound happier than what you were when you're on the radio, especially when we would talk to you guys off the air, and I sense the frustration between the three of you, especially with Kevin, saying, I don't know why I'm doing this show at night. I want to be home with my girl and everything. Do you think you're much happier now doing the podcast show than when you were on the radio?
Again, for myself, I think happiness is relative, right? So in comparison to doing it 5 nights a week, I dug that. I got a kick out of that. With the podcast, as we're developing and we're building the brand and we're building the platform for it, we want to. I want to get to the point where we're doing more content. We all do. We all want to get to the point where we're doing more content and doing that. I think a part of that frustration is like, anybody. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter, if you're an athlete or whatever. You want to be acknowledged that you're doing good. You want to be acknowledged that the things that you're building, what you're working for, is leading to a goal or anything. And I think a lot of that frustration back then was, outside of, let's say, maybe a Captain Brown here and there, there wasn't a whole lot of, wow, you guys are killing it. Amongst the other radio guys, they might mention it on the air and everything, and all that is cool, but, from your bosses or from, business side where they're selling the program, you're raising revenue, you're doing all these things. You want to be told that hey, yeah, you guys are doing it. You want to be given some direction. You want to be given some schooling, all those things. And I can honestly say that there wasn't a whole lot of that coming our way when it came to what we did. I think on levels, they didn't get what we were doing. They didn't understand why it was working. They didn't understand how it was successful. And so when that happens, then, other things creep in, and, because people don't understand it, they're going to hate on it, internally, because people, because we all got along, we didn't have that animosity or that tension amongst one another, each other. It was different type of show on that station. People didn't get it, and they're like, oh, these guys are all buddies, no one wants to listen to that. Well, that's not the truth. The numbers show it, people dug what we did, and it was, so I think in that regard, it's frustrating because you want to continue to build. So do we sound happier now? We're probably happier because we know what we're building now is ours, and we're it's us, and we're counting on each other. So I guess, so those are two different dichotomies in that regard.
Yeah, in a way, and the fact that you don't have, your bosses all up on your ass telling you what you have to say or what you have to play. You're your own.
I don't know about all that. There's still a couple of hoops that we have to adhere to even now. I'd love to be able to say that we're 100%, outside of the influence of the machine, but that's not, for us to be able to do what we're doing now, and for certain members to be able to do what they're doing now, there's certain concessions that we have to make. So, if you listen to the podcast, it's not 100% us just, talking however we want to talk. We still, there's people checking just to make sure we follow into their little guidelines and stuff.
That's true. You're listening to orlando.ourcityradio.com, the Urban Station. We're doing an exclusive interview with radio personality Angel Rivera. Now, I know I was affected by the loss of one of your favorite callers from the show's history, Robert. How did you find out about his death?
Man, I think this it's sad. I think it snuck up on everybody. We talked about it again the other night. Somebody kind of grabbed the obit from the Sentinel and kind of shot it over and was like, "Hey, dude, did you know about this?" And you know, it was like I had on the air. I had this kind of love-hate thing with him. But I will say this, and this is to Kevin's credit. He always let Robert call a show. He always let Robert kind of speak his mind. There was days when Robert was, you know, comedic gold, and there was days where I had no idea what he was talking about. But that's what made him who he is. And you know, all I can say is that I hope he's he's found peace, and you know, just kind of hope his family is you know, dealing with it accordingly.
Yeah, and when I read about it, I'm like, no way, you know, Robert from SBK Live. It was pretty sad, and actually,
yeah, and that's the tough part. Even now, it's like trying to find out, like, because I still don't know all the, like, actually everything that happened. So, you know, I've reached out to Detective Barb and waiting to hear back from her. And like I said, I hope it wasn't anything traumatic. I hope he, you know, didn't go through any painful or anything like that. You know.
Right. And, you know, hearts go out to the family of Robert Shulman, who was one of SBK Live's favorite callers and whatnot. And since OurCityRadio.com promotes, this is the outlet of where we have independent artists, bands, and local businesses come to the OurCityRadio.com to promote their business and to put their name out there. And I wanted to ask you your opinion about the Orlando local scene now. Do you think the community has kind of walked away from showing support to their local musicians, or do you see the community getting together and coming out and showing love for local musicians? What's your opinion about the Orlando music scene?
I think there's a definite I think there is definitely support for the bands, but you've got to do your homework. You got to do all the grunt work. You know, like one of the awesome things about what we did on SBK Live was, you know, our Thursday night local music segment, and we were bringing all the local bands, but coming in and giving them an opportunity to play on a 100,000-watt radio station in your hometown. Not anyone, you know, there's not anyone doing that right now, you know. So I think it's made it just a little bit more difficult. But as a band, you know, you've got to do all the grunt work in the sense of develop, you know, and that's what it is nowadays. So you've got to develop your social networking arm of it. You've got to develop your merchandising arm of what you do. You got to develop your show, your stage presence, you know, what you do. And, you know, not saying that, you know, you got to be good. You know, you got to put the time into your craft, and then give the people a reason to come and follow you and listen to you. And then the other part is that I see it, you know, it comes in waves and stuff, but, you know, as fans, as locals here in Orlando, you know, we got to come out and support the acts. We got to come out and support the bands. And sometimes that means you got to pay a $5 cover to come watch your favorite band, but do that, you know. That's the way that these guys, you know, the venues make a couple bucks, the bands make a couple bucks. That's how this whole thing works. But I think, you know, if you do it that way, I think there is results. You know, we're doing our Halloween bash. One of the bands that was featured on the SDK Live local music segment, the Bloody Jug Band. That's our featured band for that thing. They're huge, you know. That's a great band. So that's going down October 31st. You know, at the Hojo there in Altamont Springs, at the Why Not Lounge. You know, it's $5 to come hang out with us that night. But those are the things that you got to build it, you know, promote it. And I think, you know, people do tend to come out to those things.
Excellent. And I wanted to end on, I don't know if this is a myth or this is true, because SBK Live always mentions this about you. You're a very articulate individual. Is it true? Is this true that you learned how to speak English using Rosetta Stone?
No, that's a joke from the file days. So, like, my whole bit when I was on the file was that I was an exchange student from Puerto Rico, which in and of itself is ridiculous because it's a Commonwealth, so there's really not an exchange student program in existence. And so my stick was, a kid that just came from PR that didn't know a whole lot of English. And what's so funny, what's beautiful about radio is that there's people, that they believe everything that comes out of that box,
Yeah.
So that, to this day, there's events that I've done and people come up and they're like, Angel, you speak so well and blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of like the running gag, And even Jim's gotten in on it a couple times, so.
Well, at least the truth comes out. And
there we go.
Well, where can everybody check you out on what's going on with you and SBK Live? Where can they hit you up on social media?
Definitely hit up the website, sbkliveradio.com. I'm on Facebook, Angel Rivera, SBK Live Angel. On Twitter and Instagram, it's Official Angel, minus one I. And, just hit me up that way, I'll answer any questions. I'll do what I can to help if I can help with your event, and that's probably the easiest way to do it.
Well, Angel, it's been an honor and a privilege to have a good interview with you. We went over 3 segments, but who cares?
No worries, dude.
Hey, I love you anyways, and I want to wish you the best of luck with any endeavors that you have in store in the future, and I'll be and let SBK and Kevin know that I said hello, and hopefully one day I do come in to do one of the episodes of SBK Live and hang out with you guys.
Oh, hell yeah, we'll do that, man. I appreciate you having me on and for this opportunity, and you guys keep doing what you're doing, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was radio personality Angel Rivera. You're listening to orlandoourcityradio.com, the urban station.
At Brevard Community College, we're evolving, expanding, and proudly becoming Eastern Florida State College. To take hold of the possibilities of the future, we are building on the excellence of the past, and the best is yet to come. Look to the future. Look with excitement. Look to the east. Eastern Florida. Explore, achieve, succeed.
Oh, yeah. I talk about the stage, I'm feeling guilty. Ran into the shawty who's a groupie. She whispered in my ear and she wanna do me. Said she brought a camera and a tool. Please say, man, you know your boy is a baller. Gave me a number so I can call her. I'm talking all through the night. I'm gon' get her right. Maybe even she can smell. Shawty said she wanna stop by. Well, I'ma show her the reason why. She'll be thinking of me late at night. Every time she close her eyes. Well, shawty said she wanna stop by. Well, I'ma show her the reason why. She'll be thinking of me late at night. Every time she close her eyes. She came inside my room wearing a two-piece. Laid across my bed, said courage to me. Anticipating, man, I hope she ready. Cause I'ma just do it like Nike. She feeling my swag, I'm on top of it, y'all. Been to get inside and break a roll, talking all through the night, yeah. I'm gon' get a ride, yeah. Maybe even she can spend the night. Shawty says she wanna stop by, well I'ma show her the reason why. She'll be thinking of me late at night. Every time she close her eyes. Shawty says she wanna stop by, well I'ma show her the reason why. She'll be thinking of me late at night. Every time she close her eyes. Shawty says she number one. Shawty says she number one. Shawty says she number one. Shawty says she wanna stop by, well I'ma show her the reason why. She'll be thinking of me late at night. Every time she close her eyes. Shawty says she wanna stop by, well I'ma show her the reason why. She'll be thinking of me late at night. Every time she close her eyes. She close her eyes.
You're listening to orlandoourcityradio.com.